Get ready to dive into a gripping tale that will send shivers down your spine. Meet Nikko Allen Jenkins, a man so dangerous he was sentenced to 450 years in prison. With a reputation for cold-blooded killings and a family history drenched in chaos, Nikko's story unfolds with jaw-dropping twists and turns. Brace yourself for a heart-pounding journey into the dark depths of one of the most sinister inmates to have ever lived. Imagine a man so dangerous that he was sentenced to 450 years in prison. Nikko Allen Jenkins, a manipulative and sinister individual, posed a massive threat to the outside world and even behind bars. This is the story of one of the scariest inmates to have ever lived. Years ago, Nikko went viral all over the internet for his intimidating look, earning a reputation for killing anyone who dared to look at him. But how much of that was true, and what had he done to be locked away for 450 years? Nikko had always led a troubled life. From a young age, he witnessed and became a victim of numerous traumatic experiences. Looking into his lineage, it was evident that his family had wreaked havoc in Omaha for generations. 7 of his close family members, including his mother, father, 3 sisters, uncle, and cousin, were all felons. Their roles in Nikko's story would soon become clear, but what stood out was that Nikko was the worst of them all. Constantly bouncing between juvie and mental facilities, Nikko struggled to control himself. At the tender age of 7, he brought a loaded .25 caliber handgun to his elementary school. By the time he turned 11, he stopped attending classes regularly and was expelled from group homes for getting into fights with everyone. And at the age of 13, he had already stabbed someone, a feat unimaginable for most children his age. Nikko's association with criminal gangs commenced at a young age, and in 2003, when he was merely 15 years old, he found himself incarcerated in 2 instances of armed carjacking. Regrettably, his tumultuous career persisted within the prison walls, resulting in subsequent charges for assaulting a guard and instigating a riot behind bars. However, a fateful decision made by the judge would go on to profoundly alter the trajectory of numerous lives. Rather than imposing consecutive sentences for the subsequent charges, the court made the decision to have them run concurrently, resulting in Nikko serving no additional time beyond his initial sentence of 10.5 years in prison. Consequently, in 2013, Nikko was released from custody. However, rather than exhibiting signs of rehabilitation or embracing a path of personal growth, he tragically embarked on a relentless and horrifying killing spree. Just 11 days after his release, Nikko committed his first murders. With the help of his cousin and sister, he lured 2 random men, Juan Pena and Jorge Ruiz, to a location and shot them both in the head, stealing their wallets as trophies. But Nikko's thirst for blood was insatiable. Tragically, just 8 days later, Nikko carried out a fatal act by shooting and taking the life of his former prison comrade Curtis Bradford. The irony was haunting, as the day prior to the incident, the two had captured a picture together, an image now serving as a stark reminder that even the closest friendships were no longer trustworthy. The motive behind Curtis's murder stemmed from a simple yet chilling reason. Nikko's sister firmly believed that Curtis's associates were responsible for a violent attack on their home months earlier. The siblings devised a trap, enticing Curtis with the pretense of a robbery, only to ultimately extinguish his existence. This disturbing turn of events highlighted the depths of betrayal and the harrowing lengths individuals would go to seek revenge. But Nikko didn't stop there. A few days later, he targeted a random SUV, pulling the vehicle over and mercilessly shooting a mother of 3 named Andrea Kruger 4 times. This time, his uncle Warren Levering was involved in the crime. It seemed like Nikko's family was just as twisted and dangerous as he was, and if that wasn't enough, his own mother, Lori Jenkins, had provided him with the ammunition and knew about everything that unfolded. As the bodies piled up, investigators started connecting the dots. Nikko was finally arrested on unrelated threats charges, and the evidence against him was overwhelming. His DNA was found on multiple murder scenes as well as in the getaway car. They had the murder weapon, and most importantly, they had Nikko Allen Jenkins. Despite being confined within prison walls, the torment inflicted by Nikko persisted unabated. Within the course of an extensive 8-hour interrogation, a shocking revelation emerged as he disturbingly admitted to committing all 4 murders. His rationale for these gruesome acts took a deeply unsettling turn as Nikko claimed there were sacrificial offerings to Apophis, an Egyptian serpent god. According to his disturbing account, Nikko asserted that the serpent deity communicated directly with him, issuing commands that he felt compelled to obey by perpetrating these heinous crimes. The disclosure of such delusional beliefs and Nikko's willingness to carry out these acts of violence underscored a profoundly troubled psychological state, raising concerns about the potential for future harm and the need for appropriate interventions within the prison system. The court sought to impose the death penalty on Nikko. However, he devised a plan to escape his ultimate punishment. While in prison, he obtained a razor and carved the word Satan into his forehead. He then split his tongue in half, resembling a snake. But the most insane act was when he used a guard's badge to carve a serpent into his own chest. Nikko's actions raised questions about his sanity, as no sane person would go to such lengths. The judge sternly pressed the prison warden for answers regarding Nikko's acquisition of the razor. The warden reluctantly acknowledged their uncertainty on the matter and conceded their inability to ensure it wouldn't recur. Within prison walls, inmates had gained notoriety for their adeptness at smuggling contraband, making it evident that even stringent measures failed to deter them. Astonishingly, their efforts proved fruitless, even when dealing with a man confined to solitude, subjected to checks every 15 minutes, and monitored ceaselessly by a surveillance camera. The warden's admission reflected a disheartening reality, a systematic vulnerability that rendered their best intentions and security measures insufficient in combating the resourcefulness and determination of incarcerated individuals. Nikko's manipulation reached its peak when he managed to swallow a set of 7 handcuff keys. The audacity and resourcefulness he displayed were unmatched. Despite his barbaric behavior, multiple state psychiatrists evaluated Nikko and reached a stunning conclusion. He was faking his mental problems. They believed he was cunning enough to know that if he appeared insane or incompetent, he would escape the death penalty and be placed in a psychiatric ward instead. The court cases were displayed due to these revelations, and for a brief moment, it seemed like Nikko would evade his ultimate punishment. However, in a surprising turn of events, a panel of 3 judges unanimously agreed to impose the death sentence, bringing an end to many years of terror. Finally, it was official. Nikko Allen Jenkins, one of the most cold-blooded criminals, was getting what he deserved. Even if he hadn't received the death penalty, he would serve 450 years in prison. The justice system had prevailed, ensuring that Nikko's reign of terror would be confined behind bars. Looking back at Nikko Allen Jenkins' life, it's easy to assume that both the justice and health systems failed him. His family's dark legacy, coupled with his troubled upbringing, painted a grim picture. However, the evaluation of state psychiatrists exposed his manipulation and revealed his cunning nature. In the end, justice was served, but the scars left behind by Nikko Allen Jenkins would never fully heal. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the depths humanity can sink to, the power of manipulation, and the resilience of those who fight for justice against the darkest of individuals. Justice finally triumphed over the sinister reign of Nikko Allen Jenkins. With his death sentence imposed, the world could breathe a sigh of relief. The story of Nikko, filled with manipulation, violence, and the twisted bonds of family, serves as a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected of places. The tale of his capture and ultimate punishment will forever stand as a testament to the resilience of those who fight for justice. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more such videos.